You guys, the other day being about a month ago, I had this thought about something that dawned on me. And it was because I found on social media a guy I went to school with, and I met him in middle school when we were in seventh grade. I vividly remember this guy saying that he wanted to be a firefighter. And I remember how he was excited about it. He would talk about it, he would describe it, and all that. When I thought about it, I said, mad respect, because I have always respected those roles, given that my mom was a teacher, my father was a policeman. Those are pillar in society jobs, which we have had topics about that before here on the channel. But when I saw this guy, naturally, I knew that his life was going to be different from what I remember him back in the day. And it turns out that he is now a manager at a construction company, which makes sense. It's not exactly what I pictured him doing, but I knew he was going to be some kind of manager because his family comes from lots of money. And with that in mind, I thought, well, because this person comes from a family of money, he doesn't exactly need money. And from what I understand, jobs like that, they can pay, but it's not like you're going to become a millionaire out of this kind of job. I thought, well, a person who doesn't have to worry about money more than likely can indulge in a career like that. Same as teachers, because teachers don't get paid. People who come from well-off families are probably better suited to partake in such a career. Well, when I think about it, I can remember other classmates who said they wanted pillar in society jobs, but they ended up with different jobs. Let it be because of my situation, say not having money for college or something like that. But sometimes I wonder, is it the influence of your family? Is it the fact that you grew up? Is it that you found out about the reality of such jobs, like say, for the lifestyle goals that you have, for the family goals that you have, it wasn't going to pay? Maybe for the retirement that you're hoping to have, it wasn't going to help you achieve that goal. What was it that talked these kids out of their dream careers? I could reach out to this guy and ask him. I'll probably be ignored because we haven't spoken for real since probably the ninth grade, and after seventh grade, we never had classes together. And I just wonder why we cannot make it to where more people can indulge in the career that they dreamed of as kids. Even though I'm never going to be a teacher, I still have dreams about becoming a teacher because I know that I'm qualified for such a job. I have the patience to teach. I have multiple ways of illustrating a concept so that if you don't get it one way, maybe you'll get it another way. I can adapt to different learning styles. Therefore, you could say I have different teaching styles. And I like to think, I like to take my time with people. I feel like I'm very encouraging. I, today, for instance, helped an old lady who I know somewhat well because I have recommended doctors for her for some pains that she was experiencing. And I said, hey, my mom looked at this person, it worked. She loved my recommendation. She was afraid of doctors before, but this one figured out what her issue was. Now she feels better. Those little things, like I can observe and listen to you intently to where the next thing that I say is going to have an impact. And if the next thing I say doesn't have an impact, or I can predict it won't have an impact, I would rather be quiet. It's just one of those things. I'm a better reader of people more than a continuous entertainer. And sometimes I think when it comes to teaching, sure, you want to entertain the kids to keep them motivated and maybe to help them escape some of their demons. But sometimes I feel like you also have to approach them from a practical point of view. So with folks like this, folks who wanted to be firefighters, policemen, and all that, but they changed their mind. I only know of two guys who, one of them went to the military. He had it all over. He would wear military stuff, dress as military. He had the physique of a military dude for someone who was only 15. And he had the athleticism to show for it too. He would also carry military style gear for school, like that big backpack that y'all be wearing, whatever that's called. And we just knew that this guy was going to make it. And the guy who wanted to be a firefighter, we knew he was going to make it, for he was already doing some kind of behind the scenes volunteer work as a teenager. Therefore, it's like he had a foot in the door already. And physically, he seemed fit for the role as well. So once again, the folks who wanted those pillar in society jobs, what happened? What took them out of it? Was it the fact that your lifestyle could not be funded by this career? Was it that, again, your social influences got to you? What is it that killed your childhood dream? Or is it that your childhood dream was something that you did not have the capacity for? Say, if I wanted to be a policewoman, which at some point I entertained the idea when I was in 8th grade, lol. Thinking about it, I'm like, it makes sense. There's law enforcement in my family, but I knew that physically I'm not exactly gifted for that, because I cannot go into the academy wanting or expecting the academy to whip me into shape. Ideally, I have some form of shape already going on for me. But trust me, after 10 years of working out, I have nothing to show for it that I've been working out for 10 years in the strength department. When I think about it, if a little ass job in retail is already maxing me out, imagine doing 30 fucking years of policewoman work in the streets the way they are right now. No. I would either have quit or I would have been offed. I can tell you that much. So yeah, you guys, for me, what killed my dream of doing those things is the political aspect of it. Like, teachers, look at what they're going through. I'm glad I have nothing to do with that, because I probably would have had endless conversations with mom. And upon seeing my mom retiring last year, I think if I would have made it that far into teaching, I think I would have followed her steps and been like, you know what? Maybe I need to quit as well, because now a mentor figure who was actually present in the system along with me is now leaving. That leaves me in a little bit of a limbo, because other people, my would-be colleagues, would be going through their own stuff. And I don't think that your mentor figure can be a good one if they're stressed out of their mind and preoccupied by other things, to where they cannot focus on the kind of development that you need as a newish teacher. So yeah, you guys, I thought I would throw this out there. Let me know your thoughts. Do you relate or know of anyone who fits this description? Are you part of this statistic? What did you really want to do when you were a kid, and what happened? What derailed you? Do you feel like your life turned out okay from deviating from your original desired course? I don't know. I really think it's sad, and I feel like if that's something people really wanted, I feel like the benefits, the retirement, or the cost of the career itself shouldn't be a reason why people cannot pursue it. But I understand that it's the reality. And that's kind of what I wish to go over here. Final thought. I guess what gets me is these people could have been hands-on, impactful leaders in their communities, but instead they ended up with management jobs, because management jobs are the jobs that everybody wants, because those are the ones that have the advancement opportunities, the stability opportunities, the financial gain opportunities. And I'm not saying management work is not important. It is important. But we cannot continuously have people discouraged from pursuing these other important careers that keep everything functioning, because pay is a problem, because politics are a problem, because socioeconomic problems are getting in the way. See what I mean? Okay, that's it. Bye. An icicle tiara design was not the answer for me.